my next kill. I'll make your life
Hey everybody, Strider's back with another pregame stats brought to you by LSI, the LoL Summoner Information page. So starting right off, we have on the red team Vladimir, Nunu, Kennen, Blitzcrank, and Sivir versus the blue team Lee Sin, Alistar, Gragas, Karthus, and Soraka. This should be a very interesting game, very unconventional picks for the blue team. So starting off top, we're going to have Kennen versus the Lee Sin. Kennen has played in the jungle a majority of his games, and so has Lee Sin. So that's not going to be too much of an issue top. They don't have a ton of experience in top lane. Kennen has played, or Barnicle has played Kennen approximately 40 times at a 63% win ratio, which is really good. And Unstoppable has played Lee Sin about 80 times, only at a 46% win ratio. So I'm going to go ahead and give the top lane to the Kennen for sure, just based on win percentage there alone, because I think that win percentage definitely makes up for the lack of experience with that particular champion. Going on to mid lane, we have Vladimir versus Gragas. Vladimir typically mains AD carry, and Gragas mains jungle. So it should be pretty interesting since neither of them main casters, but Orb Nien Tenso has played Vladimir about 55 times with a 52.73% win ratio, and NK Inc. has played Gragas about 200 times at a 50% win ratio. So with Gragas's massive or vast amount of more experience than the Vladimir, I'm going to go ahead and give that lane to the Gragas. I think Gragas is just maybe a little bit too spammy for the Vladimir, so we're going to go ahead and give the mid lane to the Vlad. So now going on to the jungle, we have Nunu versus jungle Alistar. So Nunu mains support typically, and Alistar mains jungle. This should be pretty interesting. Alistar is definitely an incredibly strong ganker, and that's what I'm worried about, but Nunu can do quite a bit of counter jungling. And Dmace has played Nunu like over 800 times at 56% win ratio, as to where Chàmp has only played Alistar about 50 times with a 58% win ratio. I'm definitely going to give the jungle to the Nunu just because, it's going to apply a lot of early pressure for the blue team playing Alistar, but I think overall that Blood Boil on the Sivir and her ult, even with Kennen, Blood Boil is still extremely good. So going right on along to the bottom lane, we have Sivir versus Karthus. Now Sivir mains caster, and so does Karthus. Both members have played that particular champion 3 times and have not lost. So it's really difficult to say who's going to actually win. So let's take a look at the supports, which is going to be Blitzcrank versus Soraka. Now, the fact that Karthus and Soraka have no getaways and no real CC besides a slow and a silence, it's going to be extremely difficult. I mean, they have quite a bit of magic reduction with Starcall and the Wall of Pain, so that's going to be really dangerous if either member of the red team gets caught in a combo like that. But Soraka has never been played by this person, and they play top typically, while Blitzcrank has been played 11 times with a 54% win ratio and mains caster. So I'm going to go ahead and give the bottom lane to the red team just because it's an extremely unconventional bottom lane. It's like the old meta bottom lane where you put a AP carry with a support. Very interesting, very weird, but let's go ahead and get in the game and see what transpires, but I still believe that the red team will come out on top, so let's see what happens. Hey everybody, Strider's back with another daily high ELO casting, and I'm really excited about this game because I actually have not seen a Vladimir in game for quite some time, which is pretty interesting because Vladimir is still a really good champion. I do see a lot of Gragases though. It's always very interesting to watch a Gragas play just because he's so mobile. The fat man is so mobile.
Welcome to Summoner's Riven.
But then again, there's a really heavy pushing comp from the red team coming out. So they're going to be able to push extremely hard later on in the game, especially once they get their ultimates. But that Blood Boil from Nunu is going to be absolutely ridiculous on that Sivir. Sivir can already clear out waves, and so can Vlad, like almost instantly. Just one Boomerang Blade and then one Tides of Blood is like all they need to take out a wave of creeps. And then if they get in trouble, it's like, oh my god, Kennen is running directly into the bush, and the Flash Pulverize coming out. Kennen goes down. I don't think he was paying attention, but a wonderful, great First Blood coming out onto the blue team. And I believe... Well played, well played. Yes, my buddy is ready. Best Soraka NA. So Soraka picked up the first kill. So that's not good for... yeah, it's not really all that good for the red team. Soraka's able to go back and get a Philosopher's Stone at 1 minute and 30 seconds. So before minions spawn, she already has a Philosopher's Stone. That's going to increase her gold intake by quite a bit. She's going to definitely be higher up in the gold count pretty significantly for a while, until possibly some other stuff happens. But Kennen was the first one to go down. That's not going to be good, but they have a lot of really nice AoE comp. That Sivir ultimate with the Kennen ultimate's really going to help them kind of close the gap, keep up with the team, and get a perfect placement for that Zhonya's. And so, yeah, it looks like Kennen will end up going top, and he will be facing off against the Lee Sin. Lee Sin will have some issues, but not too many, just because Kennen has a lot of poke and a lot of like great auto attack damage, so it's not going to be too bad. I'm also not really all that worried about Vlad, because as long as Gragas... Well, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, Vlad can avoid most of Gragas' damage because their skill shots are not targetable damages. But if Gragas throws his ultimate out, all he has to do is really just... Oh, now Alistar's coming in, gets the headbutt, puts down the Pulverize, and now Lee Sin and the Ignite going down onto Kennen, and Kennen might be going down. Yes, he does go down, and a perfect gank coming up in top lane in favor of the blue team, and now they're up 2-0. And Vlad doing a lot of damage onto the Gragas, but Gragas is doing an equal amount of damage. And now, oh my gosh, this is a very unconventional... Oh, great flash by Soraka, being able to get out of that. And now Flash has to be forced onto the Karthus, or else he would have gone down. And I don't know if Karthus is actually going AD or not. He does have some AP. Yeah, he does have AP. And I really don't know exactly what they're trying to accomplish with that particular lane comp, but it's pretty interesting regardless. And now, Gragas is recalling right there, and he's going to get away with it. Wow, great job by the Gragas, being very, very sneaky there. Vlad didn't even bother to try to come and help because he was so low, and he wasn't going to be able to do too much. Alistar's getting... Or no, sorry, Nunu's getting pinged out by the Alistar. And yes, it looks like the Alistar is coming in onto the bush. Bottom lane is not quite there yet, so they're not going to be able to do anything. And the Pulverize is... Yes, the Pulverize can come out, followed with the Body Slam and the Headbutt back over. It looks like Nunu might end up going down. He does have double buffs. This could be really, really bad for the red team if they lose out on those double buffs. And it looks like they will, and it will end up going off. Does he have his flash? No, it's not going to be enough. And it looks like the headbutt did miss, but he landed it now, picking up the double buffs. Goes straight on to Alistar. Would have been nice to go on to the Gragas, of course. But elongating the amount of time that Alistar has on the blue buff is going to be huge. That's going to give him a lot more lane presence. Also with the bonus gold that he got from that and the bonus experience, it is going to help him level as well. So the red team's starting out extremely far behind. They're already down by 1,500 at 4 minutes. They're really going to have to kick it up in CS right now. Sivir's doing a pretty good job. She is only ahead by 5 though, which is kind of surprising. But then again, Karthus can farm from a really, really long ways away without any problems. And Lee Sin's kind of just going in. Oh, and Kennen is doing a great job of juking those skill shots, but not very good at farming. It looks like Kennen's too focused on harass. And with Alistar coming in the mid, he does get the headbutt pulverized. Doesn't really get any damage outside that, but he does take a tower shot, and that's not going to be good for him. But he's going to be able to heal that up pretty easily with that Triumphant Roar. But now a good game coming up top onto the Lee Sin. Forces out the flash. Wonderful job. Now the red team is pinging out the Alistar, hanging around Dragon, and you might see them go towards that area. Lee Sin does have a ward in there, and now Kennen is going on to the Lee Sin. If Kennen can get the stun, that's going to be huge, and that's going to be, oh my gosh, one more auto attack is going to finish it up. Great job by Kennen, and a little help from Nunu with that slow. That was a great safeguard. That safeguard almost saved him. I was very surprised that it actually absorbed that much damage, but either way, that was a really good job. And pretty much everyone's just right back to farming. Everyone's doing a pretty good job. They just have a very unconventional team as far as the blue team goes. They don't really have an AD carry. They're just all AP, except for, you know, like Lee Sin, but they all do magic damage. Like Alistar's magic damage, Gragas' magic damage, Soraka and Karthus are both magic damage. It's going to be interesting, so they're really going to all have to get voice out of center. Great grab going on to Soraka. Soraka does heal herself, but I don't know if she's going to be able to go down. Yes, the slow wall comes down, and the auto attacks are not going to be enough with the exhaust, and now the cleanse going on to this Sivir. Oh, and the auto attack almost kills it. Sivir's almost dead. She's at very, very close to dying. That was terrifying. And it looks like, yes, the exhaust now going off onto... Sivir might go down from one more. No, she does get away. She's not quite level 6, but now the headbutt pulverize is going to be able to clean that up pretty easily. And he's not going to be able to flash because he just used to close the gap on that Sivir. Wonderful play by the Alistar getting there. He was a little bit late, but he was able to pick up the kill. And he picked it up on the champion that he needed to pick it up on. So great job. As long as they can keep shutting down that Sivir as much as possible, it's going to be extremely beneficial for them. Overall, great job by Karthus. Karthus really did a lot more work than I thought he was going to be able to do. Plus, right when he died, he saw the Alistar was coming, so he threw out the Wall of Pain as soon as possible just to ensure that it was going to land on both of them and get that guaranteed slow. In the meantime, you know, Nunu is just kind of picking up blue buff. It doesn't look like he's actually going to give it to anybody. He's going to keep it for himself. Possibly just go for more counter jungling. It is possible. That's usually what Nunus do, because Nunus are incredibly strong at counter jungling. They can just take like the big Wraith or the big Wolf and do a really great job at that and just like get out. Like he's really good at getting in and out of the jungle, and that's one of the scary things. Like almost any jungler can just counter jungle. It's not. That's not really the difficulty. It's just doing it effectively and doing it in a timely manner to where you're not losing that much time. So he has the Blood Boil to speed him up to get into that jungle, but then he also has... Nunu's coming in, does throw down the Ice Blast, does Blood Boil himself. He's going to do as much as possible, but no, he is going to back off just a little bit. He does have a ward over here, so he's going to know once they start that blue buff, they're going to have to bring it into the bush, or else they're not going to be able to get it. And Nunu does realize that he's probably just going to recall back. Blitz might be going for a grab. Yes, he gets the grab, and now the Power Fist followed by the Boomerang Blade. A great heal coming out from Soraka, but Sivir is going to pop her ultimate. It's not going to be enough. That flash was just too strong from the Karthus. Great job. It's very unfortunate that Karthus' wall kind of goes through the spell shield, doesn't absorb it. It still slows her down. That's the unfortunate part for sure about the spell shield, but the spell shield only absorbs like damaging spells for the most part, not like an AoE slow or anything like Karthus' wall or Anivia's Glacial Storm. It won't like absorb those ticks or anything like that, which is a good and bad thing. It's good for a lot of champions, but it's also bad, of course. And a great job, great flash coming out from, oh my god. That was a phenomenal Power Fist followed up by the flash, and now, Blitzcrank might go down from the damage. Does end up going down from the damage. Sivir's doing as much damage as possible to the Soraka. Soraka's going to be able to heal herself up and get out of there just fine. That bonus armor that Soraka gives is just proving to be way too much right now, and they're just going to have an auto attack battle. I don't think those potassium grenades are really going to be enough here, but Gragas is coming out really, really hard onto this Nunu. Nunu's going to have to avoid that ultimate from Gragas. It looks like he might go for the headbutt. Oh, he misses the headbutt. He does throw down the barrel, but he doesn't have enough mana for the ultimate. Very unfortunate. He does have enough for one more body slam, and Vladimir misses the flash. Oh, he throws down the ultimate, just backing up Vlad even more. Vlad tries to ghost to catch him up, but it is not going to be good enough. In the meantime, bottom, Soraka's going down onto... Oh my gosh, that was a wonderful play. So Sivir tried to go onto Soraka. Soraka baited out a heal with the ultimate, forcing Sivir to take tower shots, and that is extremely embarrassing for that Sivir, and that was extremely embarrassing for me because I didn't see what's happened. All right. So now Vlad's coming out. He's going to do as much damage as he can. And yes, that's easily going to be able to pick up that kill. Unfortunately, the body slam does not quite go through that wall. His body slam is very weird at points and times. It just, some walls it goes through, but some walls it doesn't, even though they look like they're the same thickness. So it might just be off by like a pixel or two. It's very odd, and it's kind of deceptive at times. And it can also be very annoying. Like, I was impressed that he was able to get through that middle wall. And now, okay, so Sivir throws down her ultimate. They speed both of them up. And now the silence coming out. Blitz actually ends up grabbing a minion on accident. He is going to go down really, really low. He is exhausted. It's not really going to happen, but a great power fist coming out. He's going to do as much basic damage as he can from those auto attacks. And now that Soraka is slowed, is going to go down from a combination of the Sivir and the Nunu. But Sivir ends up dying and not picking up the kill. The red buff from Nunu actually picks up that kill, so Nunu left her that kill and ended up taking it, and she died. So very unfortunate. If Nunu would have just got one more auto attack, he would have got the kill and saved her, but sometimes that's just not how it works. And Vlad's doing a great job at harassing, and I'm very surprised actually, because usually Gragas is still really good, and a great job at taking that Wraith. That big Wraith is super, super useful. Vlad used a lot of his spells trying to get that. He ended up just cleaning out the rest of the camp anyway, but that big Wraith is what gives the health, and that's really what helps. And it also gives some mana, I think, too. So far in mid, Vladimir is 134 creep kills against Gragas' 73. That's a ridiculous gap. It's like 60 creep kills. So Vlad is doing an amazing job right now. But, it looks like, yes, the ultimate from Kennen is going to come out doing a lot of damage. The safeguard now going on to Lee Sin. Lee Sin is going to have to flash out of there. But the ultimate from... the ultimate from Alistar is going to be able to do a lot of damage. And, yes, the Absolute Zero does go off, but it's not going to do enough damage. They were able to get out of it in time. And now it looks as if they are going to converge onto this team. In the meantime, a great flash by Kennen, being able to avoid that explosive cast. And now the ultimate coming down from Cast and doing quite a bit of damage, trying to pick up that kill. And now Lee Sin going in, and wow, Nunu is able to get out of this fully. Is he going to just keep going? He's going to take a lot of that tower damage. Probably try to execute himself, avoids that little bit of extra damage, and now, that barrel is going to hit. No, it doesn't. Nunu's too smart for that. Nunu's going to wait for those creeps to get there. Oh my gosh, Nunu got out of there perfectly fine. Perfect job by Nunu. That was a great play. So far, let's go ahead and see what happened here. So Sivir goes in, throws out the Boomerang Blade, and then pops out the ultimate. She's just going to throw in a couple auto attacks, going to be able to pick up that kill, and now she's going directly on Soraka. Soraka is going to end up going down. It looks like, yes, the Boomerang Blade with the follow-up on the auto attack is going to be able to pick it up. Great job by Sivir, just being able to pick that up, and again, we see a ridiculous chase by Nunu. And he is going to be able to get out of that without any problems. So sad for the blue team. Gave red team a double kill, a tower, and just kind of chased around a Nunu that they weren't able to kill. So very disheartening. I can't imagine how upset they are about that, but I'm pretty sure Nunu's extremely happy, and that's really all that matters. So now at this point, it looks like Lee Sin is just going to recall. He's not going to take the top tower like I originally thought he was going to. But now yeah, I'm actually very surprised at that. I'm most surprised since red team has taken those bottom and mid towers, the outer towers, that they have not gone for dragon yet. And now Gragas is doing a pretty good job at getting on this Vlad, but now the Blitzcrank is coming out. He is not going to follow up on that. I am pretty surprised. That could have been a pretty good grab. They would have been able to get that off pretty easily. Gragas did have his ultimate, would have been able to disengage quite a bit, but if Vlad pulled, he would have been able to stick on him and probably kill him. So overall, wonderful job by Gragas, just being able to... Gragas' abilities are so powerful. His kit is very useful. He has a slow, an attack speed debuff, an AoE knockback, or an AoE attack speed debuff, and then an AoE slow. It's like everything he has AoE, and it does like debuffs, and then he has, a passive heal, and then a mana regeneration, and then a passive damage reduction. His kit is just so strong. It's kind of strange to me that he just recently became popular because he is that strong. But I mean, you've seen in tournaments that Reginald will get, a pentakill, or even way back in the day of Season 1 where Shushe was just mopping up the floor with everybody. And a great boomerang blade chunking down the Kassan for about half his health. He's able to get away, and now it looks like, is the grab going to come out and land on anybody? No. Oh my gosh, it looked like it went right through him. And now, oh, the Power Fist with the exhaust coming up, and it looks like one more boomerang blade is going to catch it. Karthus flashes right into that last part of the boomerang blade. Very unfortunate. Needed to flash at an angle to avoid that last bit of the damage. So Karthus just sped up his inevitable death instead of just trying to get away. Very unfortunate for him, but it does happen at times. He did also flash in a weird area to where he wasn't going to be able to get constant damage. And now, oh my gosh, no! She's going to take a lot of damage from this. But Sivir is going to be able to successfully just take down these minions like really, really, really easily. And yes, another wonderful boomerang blade coming out, but Soraka's heals are just too fat right now. It's going to be extremely difficult to really burst anybody down except in the cooldown of her heal. So now that there's 3 members of the blue team at bottom, Alistar might go in for that, but now the Blood Boil coming out onto Sivir, and Sivir's going to do a ridiculous amount of damage. Sivir's going to flash through, try to avoid as much damage as possible, and now the ultimate coming down, her spell shield is down, it is going to hit, but it's not going to be for enough. Wonderful job by the red team, being able to completely turn that around. That Blood Boil was definitely one of the biggest attributes to that fight. Just being able to speed her up, dodge all of the skill shots coming out from Karthus, and then plus her flash just to kind of juke around the Skittles. Overall, just wonderful play by the red team. They're really starting to come back. Their team comp was just not looking very good for the blue team. It's very difficult to win without an AD carry, of course. That's it sounds like a stupid thing to say, but it is true. Lee Sin is just not a late game carry, and he's the only one that really does physical damage. So as long as they get like Negatron cloaks and things like that, they're going to be perfectly fine. Although it doesn't even look like they're really doing that. No, it doesn't look like they're doing that at all. So they're not really going for any magic resist, even though I think that's probably the best thing to do. But then again, Karthus is stuck at 69 creep kills versus Sivir's 120, so almost double. And now, oh my gosh, Vladimir has 245 creep kills at 18 minutes. That might be a record. So Nien doing a wonderful job, and a great Power Fist now going down on a Blitzcrank, gets the silence. And now the Boomerang Blade coming up, but it does miss. Just the Bouncing Blade is all that was needed. And now the Skittles are not going to hit anybody. Very unfortunate, but Vladimir is doing a ridiculous job at farming right now. And at 257 CS as opposed to Gragas' 127, I don't know how he's going to be able to withstand any of this. So the ultimate now coming out from Vlad, but Vlad's going to have to back off because just is not going to be quite enough damage. And now, yes, he did have to flash to avoid that Dragon Kick. And now the Headbutt Pulverize combo is going. No, the Flash Pulverize with the Gragas ult actually getting Vlad out of the fight. And no, and now the Headbutt is going to follow in. And yes, the Dragon Kick for the kill. But now the Dragon Kick is off cooldown. And yes, the Kennen is able to pick up the Gragas with the Flash and the Slicing Maelstrom. Excellent job by the red team. They really converged on the blue team, and that's what they needed to do. At this moment, yes, Karthus is getting picked up by that Sivir, and Sivir's just doing way too much damage right now. Sivir was just able to pretty much free farm and get a lot of kills. A great exhaust with the grab coming out onto the Soraka. Soraka's going to go down almost instantly. She gets stunned, and yes, the auto attacks are going to be able to pick her up from the Kennen. Great Blood Boil. Ensuring that it does go on another champion, because if you apply Blood Boil to a minion or another champion, it will also give the buff to you regardless. So giving it to yourself is almost useless unless you are actually by yourself. And now Sivir's going out, throws down her ultimate, doing a ton of damage to this Lee Sin. One more auto attack, yes, it does finish it up. And now it looks like Sivir's just going directly on in to, Karthus is going to go down. One more auto attack, yes, it does actually pick it up. And that is going to be a spell shield, but the ultimate from Karthus is just going to be too much. She throws out the Boomerang Blade, isn't able to kill anybody, but does a ridiculous amount of damage to the Gragas. And now Alistar is trying to get away as much as possible. The Flash, now Nunu has red buff as well as that Ice Blast. It's just going to do so much damage. And now the Silence coming out onto the Kennen. He is still going to be able to pick up the kill. Silence isn't going to last long enough. And now the Ice Blast going on to the Soraka. That's going to be bad news bears. She is good. Looks like she's going to be able to get away. Is the flash grab. The grab just barely missing. The Power Fist now going down, but does miss the Lee Sin. Lee Sin is initiating directly onto the Kennen. I don't know if he's going to be able to pick it up. Yes, he does able to. Oh my gosh, the Dragon Kick not quite killing him, and the grab saving Kennen at the very last second. That was a clutch Blitzcrank grab. Oh my god, is he going to be able to get another Power Fist? Yes, Power Fist with the Slicing Maelstrom coming out, and that is the surrender vote from the blue team. Great hustle at the end, but it just wasn't quite enough. Oh my gosh, that was absolutely insane. I can't believe Vladimir had 289 creep kills at 21 minutes. That's so many minion kills. That's just insane. You don't see that. Even at high ELO and tournament play, you don't see that much CS. It's very, very difficult. I mean, Skara got really high. He's like notorious for just sitting in mid and farming like freaking crazy. But it looks like Nien Tenso may have been able to surpass that goal or that achievement that he had. So I don't know. That was just a wonderful game, but it started heavily in the favor of the blue team, and I thought the red team was really gonna have to work at coming back. But the unconventional lane picks and the team pick of the blue team really set them back without having an AD carry and also having Soraka, so they weren't even going for like a kill comp bottom or anything. It looks like they were just trying to farm as much as possible and give Karthus mana and stuff like that and health. It just wasn't working out for them, so very unfortunate, but it was still a good game. And yeah, if you guys like my videos, make sure to hit that giant subscribe button in the middle of your screen. Make sure to hit the like button. If you want to see the next video, you can see that here. And also you can see the previous videos here as well. And thanks, guys. I will see you tomorrow.